Ready?
What?
I wasn't ready. You said ready and then just started.
It was a rhetorical question.
Oh, well, clearly.
You ready?
Clearly you're in charge of the podcast now.
I am.
I'll stop playing with this laser.
Hello, I'm in charge of this podcast. He's a knobhead. So
And we're Untitled-2.
Did you hear about the new Tomb Raider trailer?
No.
It's got a drum track in it.
The new Tomb Raider.
There's a Tomb Raider game.
There's a new one coming out.
Yeah, September.
Oh. I feel like I knew that, but whatever.
So yeah, there's a pretty neat drumming track on it.
Just kick the table.
Couple of like taiko drums, couple of bongos, you know, like typical shit.
Yeah.
Turns out it's the exact same drumming track that's in Uncharted-2 when the combat starts.
No.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
How'd they do that? How does that happen? Like, to be fair, Uncharted are guilty of the exact same thing, because you remember when they used that concept artwork from
but like
Assassin's Creed 4.
Wasn't it because the guy who made the concept art for Assassin's Creed 4 also worked with Naughty Dog, something like that? And, I don't think. What was it?
I think he put it on as like free to use.
Right.
Or not free to use, but like you can pay the license and then use it. Something like that happened. It was all a very honest mistake, but
yeah.
But I mean,
but yeah, no. Tomb Raider have used the drumming track from a song.
Is there a comparison video?
There is. I'll show you later. I'll show you later. But yeah, it's very distinct as well. It's a very distinct pattern that the drums are playing. And it could also be an honest mistake, like maybe Naughty Dog, to cut corners, just bought a backing track like that with the, fucking for that. Because it only plays during combat sequences in Uncharted.
See, I always feel like it must be hard to create music that's completely unique. And there must be so many cases where somebody's created a song and then gone, oh, wait, I subconsciously recreated this song from my memory. Well, so maybe the person who made the music was influenced by Uncharted, or are you saying it's the exact same soundtrack?
No, it's well. In the Uncharted version, they've got extra instruments on top of it.
Yeah.
So like some orchestral stuff and whatnot. And that fucking, it's not. I don't think it's a sitar. I don't know my instruments very well. But it's like it's got a very whenever you're playing Uncharted, especially 1 or 2. It's got like a really sitar type vibe to it, and I think that's playing over top of it and whatnot.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Whereas in the Tomb Raider trailer, it's just the drums, but it's the exact same drum pattern and everything. So I don't know, maybe
I see what you mean.
Maybe just because they had, maybe when they were making the Uncharted soundtrack, they were like, oh man, we don't have enough time to program drums and whatnot. We'll just get this backing track, this sample or whatever.
Yeah. And
we'll just layer on top of it, which honestly is fine. People do that all the time. And then obviously maybe the guys at Tomb Raider, the development team did the same shit and just happened to buy the exact same drum track by mistake.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the last thing they need to be compared.
Is that the only
to
place
Uncharted
it was used though? Like Uncharted only used it in the trailer, and so did Tomb Raider.
Yeah, because like I don't think it's been compared with anything else.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's the last thing Tomb Raider needs to be compared to Uncharted.
Well, no, I don't mean is that the only place the track has been used. I mean, did they also put it in the game Uncharted?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is in the game.
Yeah, it plays during combat sequences.
Oh! I thought you meant it was from an Uncharted trailer.
No.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Plays during combat sequences.
Okay, well that's kind of bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but fucking Tomb Raider's had a bad rap ever since they left the limelight and Uncharted became the next like big thing.
Yeah. Well, Uncharted, they've closed that book, haven't they? So.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like Uncharted were copying Tomb Raider, and now Tomb Raider's copying Uncharted.
Yeah.
I don't say copying. They were like inspired by Tomb Raider and obviously Indiana Jones and stuff like that. And then now obviously Tomb Raider's gonna be pretty much inspired by Uncharted.
Well, I mean the market's open now, isn't it? There's plenty of room for Tomb Raider to take over, become a better game.
I don't think they've stopped making Uncharted games per se. They've definitely finished Drake's story.
Yeah, that's true. We might see more of Chloe and Nadine.
I hope so.
Or somebody else.
I quite like that duo.
Cutter.
Maybe
we'll get a Sully and what's his brother called?
Sam.
Sully and Sam.
Aye.
Mini game or something.
Well, they could call it the SS. The Sully and Sam.
Okay. Oh, whoa, hey. My Instagram automatically posts our podcast, and it just now decided to pop up on my phone to post. So
that's why I mute my phone.
Look, right, my phone's on vibrate, but it doesn't mute the media thing. You have to turn that down separately.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
The SS.
Yeah. No, yeah, I don't think they'll go for that. I think that's a bad idea.
Really?
Yeah. But, well, I wonder if they would change the name or if they would just go for Uncharted. Of course they would go for Uncharted, right?
Yeah, it's in the Uncharted universe.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't change it with Lost Legacy.
Plus there's the movie coming up thing.
Yeah, well.
Kind of, probably, maybe.
Yeah.
People keep saying it's happening, but...
I thought you said Tom Holland was...
Yeah, that's the thing I heard was like Tom Holland was being considered for the role, or he accepted the role, something like that. Which I'm on board for. I reckon he'd play a good young Drake.
Yeah. I think we talked about this before on a previous podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought it was really unfortunate for the guys who are developing Tomb Raider to have their game compared to Uncharted yet again.
Yeah.
Because Tomb Raider's great and all, but they'll never beat Uncharted.
No, there's
never.
Uncharted's got a lot of special qualities that... I mean, Tomb Raider, they tried with the story. The story in the first one was really good. The story in the second one has yet to grip me.
Yeah.
It's been a bit samey on it.
I was playing it, and then another game came out, which is fucking always the case these days.
Yeah, but it's not always the case. Like, if another game came out while I was playing God of War that I also wanted to play, I would have seen God of War through to the end.
Yeah.
So if Tomb Raider was a good game, if Tomb Raider was Uncharted, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I see what you're saying. But
picking up what I'm putting down.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down on the ground so eloquently.
I threw it on the ground.
But I don't know. There was a time in my life where no matter how bad or good the game was, if another game came out, I'd be all like, that game is waiting while I finish this one.
Mm-hmm.
I just could dedicate myself entirely to a video game and finish it. But now it's like, I'll just play this game. Oh my god, Spider-Man's coming out! And I'll be like, I've got to finish the game quick. And then I don't finish it in time, and then it comes out and I'm like, I'll just have a little go on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Just a small go.
Yeah, and then you leave the other one behind.
Yeah, which is it started with Destiny. That's where it started for me. Because I could play games before Destiny, but then as soon as Destiny came out, I'd play that constantly, and a new game would come out, and I'd start playing that for a little bit. But then it'd be all like, "Yo, it's Tuesday, raids have reset. Do you want to do a raid night?" And I'm like, "Yeah, kind of. All right, let's do it."
Yeah, and then you'd get into your gear again. You'd be like, "Oh, I just need this, this, and this. Oh, I'll keep playing it."
And then I'd be like, "Oh, I'm only gonna do the one raid. I'm only gonna come on for like an hour or two. I wanna play this game." And then you do the one raid, and someone's like, "So who's up for, alternate characters or up for the next raid?" And we were like, "All right, just this one time, I'll do it." And then by the time we know it, it's like 4 a.m, and you're like, "I've not even slept. I've got shit to do."
Yeah, I can't do that anymore. That would have been. It's a great feeling.
I can't do it anymore either, but I still do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's all right.
Well, the way your job sort of works, you can work when you want.
Yeah. I like to get it done during the day, though.
Yeah, it is nicer just to be able to unwind at night.
So,
because if you feel like you've got to work before going to bed, it's just, it's...
Yeah, like, come 4 o'clock, I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to go and wind down for the rest of the day and do what the fuck I want. But sometimes I'm like, I should go to bed. And then it gets to 3 o'clock, and I'm like, right, if I go to bed now, I can get maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep in. And I'll wake up, I'll feel a bit shitty. But I could probably get some work done, and then I'll just have a nap after work for an hour or two before tea.
Yeah.
And then it rolls around 5 a.m. like, an hour sleep. That's not even fucking worth it. I'll just continue playing, and then when it gets to 6 o'clock, I'll just start working, and I'll go to sleep after, and then it gets.
I used to do that all the time.
Yeah, then you do your work day, and then it gets to 4 p.m. and you're like, right, let's go to bed. But then you're like, I think I might just go back on that game and go play the game again. And then it's a vicious circle. And people don't understand. My dad was always like, all my life, he was like, why don't you just go to bed at reasonable times after? I'm like, because I'm playing a game, Dad. And when you play a game, time just doesn't exist anymore. This is my argument all the time.
Well, it's not really a valid argument. Especially not to your dad.
It is a valid argument. I'm not going to bed at reasonable times because I'm playing a game and I want to keep playing it. He's like, yeah, but it'll be there in the morning. He's like, yeah, but go do stuff in the morning, like go to school or go to work, you know? Like, playing World of Warcraft after school. I went through months where, just before I met you, actually, I'd get home from school, like at school as well. My mum would give me lunch money or bus fare. I'd either walk to school or I'd get dropped off and I won't use the lunch money for anything. And I'd go to the shop and I'd buy like a can of Relentless or two, as many as I can buy. Put them in my bag. I wouldn't drink them at school or anything, and I'd just wait to get home. I'd go straight upstairs in my bedroom, just pull my fucking clothes off, sit down, launch World of Warcraft, get my cans out of my bag and just start drinking and playing.
Yeah.
And I'd just do that until like 3 a.m.
A lot of people did back then. I mean, there's probably still kids that do that now.
Yeah, but now it's Fortnite.
Oh, well, yeah.
Or like
just
League
FPSs in general.
Yeah.
Really.
Or just anything that's got a big esports crowd, I should imagine.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But yeah, I used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning because our school started early, didn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm not sure about this, but I feel like it doesn't start as early anymore as it is.
What, Queensbury?
Well, just school.
No, yeah, because our Queensbury started at 8 o'clock, didn't it?
Yeah.
Which was really early.
That's when I start work.
And so like,
I have to set off at 6:30.
Yeah, if I was getting the bus, I had to get up at 6. And get ready and then set off at like maybe about 7ish or something like that and get out to the bus. But if I was getting a lift to work to school, I could sleep in. Because my parents used to do like fucking revolving work hours. So like 1 week they'd work from morning till like tea time or something, or just before. And they'd be able to pick me up from school, so they must have finished earlier.
Yeah.
But like they started really like 6 o'clock and then finished by 3 or something like that, and they could pick me up straight away. The next week they'd both be working like after school finished till like 10 o'clock at night or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird that when you think about it, it's weird that they want you to learn in that state.
Yeah.
In the morning. If school started at like 12, you know, there'd be a lot more potential for learning. You'd be a lot more awake. And
I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast before, but there have been multiple studies about kids and how much sleep they need and when the best time of day is for them when they're fully charged and all that. Yeah. Providing they have proper sleep cycles, which is up to the parents to control. So yeah, like ideally, we shouldn't be working a solid 6 hours when we were so young, and only having like half an hour break. Always, it was like 45 minutes a day. You got to have a break, wasn't
it? Was it just in primary school or in upper school that we got a small break and then a lunch as well? It was like two periods, then some sort of demi break, and then 2 more periods.
It was in Queensbury as well. In secondary school, we'd do the first 2 lessons, and our lessons were like 50 minutes each, was it?
Yeah, that sounds right. Or 45.
Something like that, yeah, like 45 minutes to like 50 minutes maybe.
But it was like 50-minute blocks, so you had 5 minutes to get to your next lesson.
Yeah. And then after the first 2 lessons, you got a 15-minute break. And then you were back to 2 lessons. Then after that, we had lunch, which was like half an hour or something.
Oh, yeah, of course, because we used to always sneak out on that first break. Yeah. I mean, not at first.
No, not at first.
At first, because it made sense to leave at lunch because people in our year was allowed to go into the village to get lunch.
Yeah.
But we didn't come back. And then we decided,
I think
why do we wait? Why not leave a break?
The only reason your year was allowed back into the village is because the year above mine were allowed to go in, but they started causing problems. So
so they stopped.
They stopped my year, yeah. But we all was like, "No, fuck you, we're still going." And we all.
I just remember when they reinstated it that we could go back again.
So like, people in my year, we all fucking went anyway, and the teacher was like, "No, you're not leaving school to go to the village. We'll just fucking stick fingers up and walk out."
I wonder why they did that, because I feel it feels like they planned to reinstate it anyway. And I wonder if they were hoping that there would be this kind of mentality where if someone was dicking around outside of school in the village, causing trouble, one of the mates would be like, no, last time someone did that, they stopped it for a year.
Maybe.
And it just became this, like, school myth.
Yeah.
Or so they hoped it would.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it only got reinstated because our year gave them some absolute hell over it.
Yeah.
Study leave as well. They tried stopping our year.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?
And our year was fucking... We were nuts, man. We did not take no for an answer.
Study leave was so clearly not for the students' benefit. It was just so that they could...
Yeah.
The teachers could focus on the other years coming up to their...
School life was so brutal. Like, each year had their own return day after like a 6 weeks holidays. Like,
yeah, and new sixth formers and new year sevens started like a day or a week before the rest of the schools, so they had time to get settled before they were getting bullied.
Yeah.
It was literally so that we didn't get bullied because we were new people.
I remember that. I remember starting year 7 and thinking, this isn't half bad.
Yeah.
And then a week later or something like that,
all
these super tall lads who were growing beards and looked hard as shit came, and I was like, oh, shit.
Well, we had a similar thing, but my year was naturally quite tall. Just all the people from my year were just quite tall people. And it was the first year that they'd started doing this like jumper system. So everyone was in these navy blue jumpers and we got royal blue. And so everyone called us Smurfs.
Yep.
And so our year, right up until like year 11 when we were at the top of the food chain, people were calling us Smurfs. Even though we were taller than most people in the school.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm like... After your year, that's when everyone was super tiny, wasn't they?
Yeah. The year after mine, with the red jumpers.
Yeah, the red jumpers.
They were tiny. Minuscule.
Really small. I don't know what happened to... I don't know, just... the general health of kids after your year, but something happened.
Yeah.
Awful. My year were alright. We had a lot of tall people in our year, but like also a lot of average height people. It wasn't often you saw someone who wasn't at least average height in my year. There was a few shorties, but like it was rare. And when you saw them, you knew who they were, so you could bully them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was alright my year. You know, there was a lot of dickheads in it.
Yeah, there were a ton of dickheads in your year. Like most of the biggest bullies in school were from your year.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know if it's something to do with being born in 1995, but the love for the 90s was a lot stronger in your year. There was a lot of like punks and I want to say goths, but not quite goths. You know, the sort of ones that just have long hair and wear band t-shirts. And
yeah. There were a lot of alternative like rocker type people in my year. Yeah, my year was really diverse for like, you know, the whole clique thing. We had like skaters, we had goths, we had like, you know, sweaty moshers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
We had the sports people, we had the chavs, the bullies and all that. It was very cliquey. Yeah. Which is a very 90s thing.
I feel like whenever you look at schools nowadays, there's not much of that.
No.
I feel like the popular kids nowadays are following the rules.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was the more rules you could break, the cooler you were. Or if you were a girl, the bigger boobs you had, the cooler you were.
Hell yeah. No. Today it's like, the more you can prove that you're a kind-hearted person who cares about things, the more popular you are.
Mm.
When we were in school, or at least when in my year and that, it was like the more you could prove you didn't give a shit about anything, the cooler you were.
Yeah, the more you revolted against authority and shit.
If you were a rebel who didn't give a shit, rebel without a cause, you were like the coolest person ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I embodied that well enough in my year.
I feel like the class clown's always going to be a popular one as well.
Yeah, I was the class clown.
Were you really?
Yeah. But it was weird because like the first few years, I was getting constantly like bullied because obviously I chose the alternative fucking music lifestyle and all that, and I was wearing clothes that a chav wouldn't wear.
Yeah, exactly.
Do chavs even exist now?
I don't know. I see them here and there, but they all seem to be from like our age, just clinging onto it.
Yeah.
Actually, I had someone at work gave me this brilliant idea. So obviously I wasn't watching the World Cup because I didn't really care that much.
Yeah.
And somebody at work said, "Oh, it's the best time to go shopping when England's playing." And I was like, "Fucking yes!" So then I said to Candice, "Oh, let's go to Aldi tonight and do the shopping tonight. There'll be nobody in there." And there was just a few people in there, but they were all like really chavvy.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, I've been transported to the early 2000s.
What was it about the whole chav thing and like the fashion sense was awful?
I don't know, because there was the thing that chavs didn't like about obviously moshes and stuff was that they would consider them unclean. Yeah. You know, so you sweaty mosher and stuff like that. But if you ever look back at school photos and you look at the chavs, they are the dirtiest looking little shits you've ever seen. All proper greasy, and I don't know how it worked, mate.
I've always made an effort to smell nice.
Yeah,
always. I've always used deodorant. I've always had a shower almost every day if I could afford, you know, like fit it into my schedule. And like a few years ago, I started wearing like cologne on certain occasions and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I've always smelled nice. And I even back when I was a little sweaty mosher, I smelled nice. But every time I stood next to a chav, you know, like you're in line or something, or you sat next to one in lesson, you hate it, or you just, whenever you went to lesson, everyone got crammed in the corridors and you had to fight your way through them all. Mm-hmm. You'd end up squished next to a chav. They always smelled of BO, which is weird because I always saw them just in a mist of fucking links.
Yeah.
It's like, that links doesn't mean you don't have to shower, mate. You still need a shower.
Yeah.
But they had weird fashion senses. Like, they went through a phase where they'd have short back and sides and like a really straight short fringe, and they'd just gel it all down.
Yeah, they'd make it look really greasy with hair gel. And they'd do this like thing with the fringe where they'd flatten it down, like you said, but it'd be cut straight, and then they'd twist like bits of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it had this like really broken up, like dirty looking. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't.
There was a time as well where the only way I can describe the haircut is it's like a Caesar. And they'd gel it all on top, and they'd get the fingers and like make waves on the top of the head. Do you remember that?
Oh god, yeah, I remember that.
They all wore these really ridiculous, fucking blocky as shit black shoes. Like they're called Ben Shermans or something like that, weren't they?
Yeah, I remember.
Like they'd wear it with everything: jeans, trackies.
Oh, as you said yesterday when we were talking about this, white Lonsdales.
Yeah, all they'd wear white Lonsdales.
Yeah.
They went for a phase where they always stick the tracky pants into the socks.
Yeah.
It's weird. Because then like they'd walk through some mud and then splash it on the socks, and they're wearing white socks with black track pants or something. I'm like, that doesn't look right.
Well, do you know what's weird about it? Like, these kind of trends are always sort of based on celebrities. Like, nowadays, most popular kids will be, you know, looking like Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber or whatever.
Yeah.
And like when I was a scene kid, that was obviously based off of celebrities that I'd seen, you know, in bands.
Yeah.
But what was Chav based off? Like, you saw a couple of like
90s
sort of
boy bands, maybe.
I won't say it was really Chav.
The hairstyle was definitely
the hairstyle is probably where it came from. But like, I don't know. There would be celebrities back then that would wear tracksuits, which obviously Chavs definitely did.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't look gross.
I think the whole Chav mentality with the clothing was they wanted to wear the very best brands on everything.
Yeah, well, that was a huge part of it, wasn't it?
I think that's what influenced
showing that you've got money even though you don't.
Yeah, it's like, was it is it Zeph style? That Deant word? Like, it's the term they coined for living as if you're a millionaire but you're super poor. It's like that sort of fashion sense and that. It was kind of like the very early period of that.
Yeah.
Like
there was a lot of gold chains.
Yeah, they'd go buy some gold chain that'd like give them a fucking awful ass rash.
Mm-hmm.
They'd wear. Someone somewhere were deciding what brands were acceptable and what weren't. So they'd be wearing like Umbro or Nike, but they won't wear something like fucking, I don't know, like what brands did they not like? Alessi, or was that one that did like?
No, yeah, they did. Kappa as well. Kappa.
Yeah.
A weird one that was.
But like there were certain brands they won't wear because they weren't glamorous enough.
Yeah, exactly. But then there was people on the opposite side, like us. We would have never dreamed of wearing Adidas or Nike.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I'm a bit older, and I'm like, oh, actually,
if it looks good, I'll wear it.
Some Adidas joggers might be comfortable.
Like, no one told him either. Like, even though Ben Sherman and Adidas tracksuit pants, in their opinion, were like the pinnacle of fashion, you probably shouldn't wear them together.
Yeah, innit?
One's a formal shoe, a really shit looking one.
Yeah.
And the other one is like sportswear. They shouldn't ever mix, but they did.
Yeah, because it wasn't about looking good per se. It was about
it was a statement.
Just having like all these logos all over you.
Hands down, the worst trend that Chav started. Probably not the worst one. There's probably something worse, but like what I'm thinking at the moment, the only thing I can think of as the worst trend is the fucking rat tail thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? They'd have a mohawk, and like the very last section, like an inch at the back of the head, they'd grow out into a ponytail.
Yeah, I remember.
I was like, what the fuck is that about? It looks gross and disgusting.
Or when they wouldn't put it in a ponytail, and they'd do that thing, we were talking about with the fringe earlier, but they'd do it down the back of the neck, which in America would be considered, hillbilly sort of thing to do, but here, back in the early 2000s, it was cool.
It was just insane.
What about Burberry hats as well? Burberry was this huge, really monumental company that would just, when you thought of style and money, you thought of Burberry. So they all flocked to Burberry and bought the only thing they could afford, which was a hat.
Yeah.
And then that became this big thing. And now, who's ever heard of Burberry?
Then occasionally you'd see one of them, probably the most wealthiest one of them. They'd have a full Burberry tracksuit on with the hat and everything. You're like,
yeah.
Oh man, poor guy. What a time we grew up in.
Innit?
I was talking to my sister yesterday about this, my oldest sister, because she grew up, she was born in 85 or something like that, so she grew up part way in the 80s, and then
my sister was the same.
And then a lot in, obviously, all the way through the 90s, so she got the worst of the fashion trends. I've seen a picture of her when she was maybe 13 or something like that. She's wearing just the worst form-fitting denim jeans ever, just blue denim jeans.
Yeah.
Just no form to them whatsoever. And I think they had like elasticated waist or something like that, so they're all scrunched in.
Yeah, I can picture it, yeah.
White trainers. And then a really awful, faded sky blue jumper that was weird, two or three sizes too big.
Honestly, I can picture it, man.
Right? And then she was wearing a shirt underneath with the collar over the fucking jumper, and then the bottom of the shirt sticking out underneath the jumper. Just coming out. And it's who was that's fashion.
Innit? Yeah.
Also, everyone back then in the 90s had those jumpers, those grey jumpers that just said NAF in as many colours as possible.
NAF?
Do you not remember NAF?
No.
I'm going to pull up a picture.
Oh, well, that's useful on a podcast.
For you, not for them.
Maybe they'll probably know what it is.
Yeah, it was NAF jumpers or something like that.
NAF. I don't believe you.
Oh, come on, man.
If maybe I'll see one and I'll be like, whoa. Nostalgia.
I'm trying to find one.
See, you can't even find one. They don't exist.
No, they do. I'm looking at loads of them now, but they've updated their brand since then.
Yeah, right, okay.
I need one that was from the 90s.
Apparently, a really popular jumper in sort of the 80s and 90s was an FC UK t-shirt that had a big middle finger on it.
Really?
Yeah, because obviously when you look at it, you're like, oh, that says folk. Oh, no, it says French Connection UK. But then, obviously, they made that T-shirt, and it became a huge collector's item, I think. I think if you still have one, you can sell it for, thousands.
I know, eh?
Because everybody had one at the time, so... Yeah. It's a big part of history, I suppose.
So, that was one of them. Also, that as well. But you can't really see it.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
You never seen
that? Looks like... That one there looks like it was made by Healer from H3.
Teddy Fresh.
Yeah, Teddy Fresh.
You've never seen NAF jumpers?
No, never.
No way. They were very popular in the 90s. Everyone had them.
What could it have been?
No idea. I don't know what NAF means. I know what NAF means, but I don't know what it means when it's on a jumper.
It means the jumper's NAF. Shall we move on?
Yeah, we've been talking about old trends for a while now.
Yeah. So how long's left?
We're just coming up on the half-hour mark.
Okay, that's great. I think we can talk about our latest trophies for the next half an hour, because we've played a lot of games, got a lot of new trophies.
Yeah, for half an hour, if that's what you want to talk about it for. Let's do it.
I've got 8 new trophies in the past week, and I think you've got about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
I don't know, we've got almost the same amount. I don't know.
I should pull up mine.
I'm going to pull mine up. You pull yours up.
I saw you playing with your phone earlier, and I was like, oh, I hope he's pulling up the stats so we don't have to have like this bit of time where I talk about random shit, like kind of like I'm doing now, just to like fill dead air.
Just to fill it in, great. So I have 64 platinums now. Hey. I can't remember how many I was on when we did the last trophy update.
Oh shit! I just realised.
Yeah.
I should be on 40 now. If I'm on 39. Oh, it hasn't updated my. What was it? Everybody's Gone to Rapture that I got earlier today. Yeah, so I'm on 40 now.
I thought you wanted Gravity Rush to be 40th.
Yeah, I did, but we'll talk about that because what a load of bullshit, mate.
So let's go back to where we started it. Right, I came over to your house a few days ago, and we decided that we should just go for a big platinum binge.
Yeah, so you looked up a list of sort of quickest platinums, basically, as many as we could get in one night. We downloaded a few.
I bought a few of them.
Yeah.
So I think we platted them at the same time as well. So hang on, how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Man, they're really
5,
really
6,
going
7,
for it
8,
with the engines
9?
today, aren't they?
Is that true? 1.
You got
2,
9.
3, 4,
1,
5.
2. Oh yeah, because you got
7,
the thing.
Oh, 8.
1,
I think 8.
3,
I think I double counted 1 because you were talking to me.
8. I've also got 8.
Right. Yeah.
New trophies.
Yeah. So I think only like maybe 2 of them differ.
What do you mean?
Because it was a similar trophies that we got, but platinum.
Oh yeah,
only 2, Only 2 of them are different.
Yeah, well that's good because we can just talk through the games that we played. So should we start with
the first one we platted was My Name Is Mayo,
which is just, I mean, it's nothing to be proud of, really.
No, not really. It's a ridiculous game.
Yeah. Basically, you have a jar of mayo on screen. And if you've ever played cookie clicker games on the computer...
Or any clicker games.
Well, it's not like any clicker game, because usually you'll like buy things which will click for you.
Yeah. And
incrementally you'll get to the point where you're getting 10 million clicks a second, and then you realise, whoa, all this has been not for nothing.
Well, that's what cookie clicker was like as well. You bought things that clicked for you. My Name Is Mayo is the only clicker game I've played that didn't have that feature.
Oh, I see. Well, fair. But yeah, so basically you click by moving the cursor, which is a giant finger, onto the jar of mayo, and then you press X repeatedly as fast as you can.
That's pretty much it.
It was something like 10,000 clicks to complete the whole game.
There was a trophy for 10,000 clicks, and you could probably finish it in 10,000. I always forgot about one part, because every now and then, after so many clicks, you'll unlock a story.
Yeah.
And you have to go to the reward screen and click that icon, which
it'll put the outfit. It'll put the mail jar in an outfit, and then
every click goes towards that story.
Yeah, it goes towards that story. It unlocks the next outfit until you get to the end. So there was one story where you wanted to learn guitar, so you picked up a guitar, started playing it. Your dad disapproved. And then you got famous and you got your dad's approval, and then you decided you want to be a mime instead.
Or something like that. Yeah, they were really ridiculous.
Yeah, they were really stupid.
I didn't pay attention to them like you did.
Well, it was basically just reading the text next to the reward.
Yeah, I didn't even do that.
It wasn't an in-depth story or anything. It was just like this, then this, then this, like bullet point story.
I just looked at the colour of the icon.
And went to the next one.
Yeah. The thing that I kept forgetting about was there's a reward you have to get for clicking the catsup mayonnaise in the leopard print bikini 500 times.
Yeah.
Because I think the next story unlocks before that.
Yeah.
And I always forgot about that. So I'd get to 10,000, like, where's my plat?
Yeah, and then you'd have to do more than 10,000.
Yeah.
I think I managed to do it through the bare minimum because I started just a bit after you.
Yeah.
I was doing something beforehand. I can't remember what it was, but you started before me.
Yeah.
I was probably downloading it on my shit internet.
Yeah, I think you might have said all you need to do is get 10,000 clicks, and that's what I was going for first.
Well, that's what it said on the guide.
Right.
Well, I just skipped to the bottom of the guide, and it said in summary, I get 10,000 clicks, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was doing that for ages, and then you finally joined me, and you was like, oh no, we've got to be doing this, and I was like, I'm halfway to 10,000, man. So I had to do more clicks than you. And I ended up.
Well, there's going to be a theme here wherein Ash has a lot worse luck than me, which is a nice change of pace actually, because usually it's the other way around.
There was something weird going on, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But My Name is Mayo. Super simple game.
Not exciting. Like I don't recommend it as a game, but I do recommend it as an easy platinum.
Yeah, I saw a post the other day, and some guy was like, to all you trophy hunters who platted My Name is Mayo, it invalidates your entire platinum list. And I was like, who cares? I do this for me, not for you.
Yeah, I don't. It's like when we were kids and we all had Xbox 360s and we were like, I've got 20,000 achievement points.
Yeah.
It's not there to compare to other people. It's a collection. It's nice to collect. It's nice to look at your little trophy cabinet and go, oh, that's a nice number.
I remember doing everything in that game that required the platinum. I remember doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it's valuable or not is not the point.
He made that thread. I think he was on like.
I thought it was a threat.
He made the thread, and everyone who replied basically said the same shit. Like, so what? Who even puts that much fucking value in trophies?
Yeah.
People collect them because they want to, not because it's valuable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, even though I've platted it. I don't think it invalidates my list. I put value into my list. I like what I've done and what I've platted, so that guy can go fuck himself.
It's also a memory.
Yeah.
It's like, I can look back at my trophy list and go, oh, I remember that time in that game when I got stuck with that or whatever. I'll look back at My Name is Mayo and I'll remember the laugh we had sat on the couch just seeing how fast we can mash X. It's worth it.
Remember that time I pressed the button 10,000 times?
Yeah, exactly. It's got like sentimental value.
Yeah.
As well as, collector value.
So the next game was Mr. Massagy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Mr. Massagy.
What a weird game. I don't remember what you had to do. I just remember the whole massage aspect of it.
It's a really easy plat. We platted it in under 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was.
Or at least I did. I don't know about your times.
I don't know. I can check.
Yeah, I did it in 27 minutes 52 seconds.
I did it in 27 minutes 43 seconds.
Ooh, a bit faster than me, yeah. The whole point of the game is you've got a phone, you swipe left or right until you find a date.
Oh, yeah, I'm starting to remember this now.
Yeah, and then you go on a date with this girl. If you get 3 stars, you've successfully done the date.
Yeah, it was just a dating sim, yeah.
But then the controller starts vibrating and a screen will say, put the controller on the back of your neck for a massage.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty good. I only did it with one of them, but like every single time they like vibrated differently. Something to do with the characteristics of the character. Like a more aggressive character, it might just like.
Yeah. But it was it's not a good game, I wouldn't say, but it was a good game in the sense that it gave us a few laughs, and it was like we had moments where I can't believe we're playing this.
Yeah.
But it was funny.
No, it was really funny.
And the characters were all really quirky in that one. And it was made by the same people who made My Name is Mayo. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's weird.
And then when at the beginning,
because one of the dates is with a jar of mayo.
One of the dates is with a jar of mayo. But
that was quite funny.
Yeah, that was.
That was a nice little.
I was like,
glad I played Mayo first.
But yeah, very basic game, not brilliant, but it was fun at the time.
Yeah.
We probably won't remember it much, and then we'll be like, we'll be looking back through this list in years.
I think I uninstalled it, but I kind of wish I kept it on there because I want to show Candice it. When she gets back.
It was really small, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was only small.
But like, we're going to look through our trophy lists in a few years and be all like, Mr. Massagy? What's that?
I think it's supposed to be Mr. Massagy.
No, yeah, I know. Like, we were looking at it because we didn't know it was about massages.
Yeah, exactly. So we were like, yeah,
we was like Mr. Massagy,
yeah.
And then it was like it was all about massage. And it was like, oh, Mr. Massagy.
Yeah.
But we're going to default back to it in the thingy in the future. Next game.
Oh, fuck this one, mate.
You had better luck on this game than I did.
I had a lot better luck than you. We'll see that in our completion times, but...
Alright, what's your completion time?
I fucking hated this. It's bearing in mind, it was advertised to us as a 30-minute plot.
Yeah.
It was 1 hour and 3 minutes for me.
Mine was 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Oh! A whole extra hour!
And 10 minutes.
Well, whatever, we'll talk about it, but... So basically, it's just a little platformer. you're given this randomly generated sort of dungeon area, and there's these balls of light, I guess, or blocks. Fragments. That's what they call them. There was these fragments, and you had to go around and find them all, collect them all, and then return to where you started. Which, when it's a randomly generated map, is a bit of a pain in the ass because you got to remember where it is.
Yeah.
But there were certain trophies like get all 36 fragments and then die without taking them back. So that's already one complete run. Get 35 fragments and then die, which is almost a complete run. Bearing in mind these runs take about 6 minutes a time, something like that.
Yeah, if you're fast, if you're slow as shit and you're scared of dying.
Yeah.
Which I suppose you could do, because I don't think those trophies are timed. It's the get 36 fragments, finish it under 6 minutes, that's timed.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
So it's really easy to die. Just take one tap from anything, laser, buzzsaw, spikes or anything. You're dead, you start again. You've got no fragments left. So that got really frustrating. Just trying to get up to 36 fragments was ridiculous. I got very, very lucky in that when I actually got the 36 fragments and took it to the end, I did it in 4 minutes. And there's a trophy for doing it in 6 minutes. So I was like, oh, thank fuck for that. And then I just went through, I got 35 and died. Once I'd done it the first time, it was just easy to finish it then. But then you were still doing it for another hour. Yeah. And I'd got really used to it by then, so I was like, oh, let me have a go. And I managed to get the 36 and get you to the end, which was cool. But I did it in like 6 minutes and 5 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
So
no, you were 15 seconds too slow. Yeah. Because you were looking for the home plate thing that you need to get to.
Yeah. So I missed that trophy. So you still had to do the same amount of runs as you would have done anyway. Yeah. So I didn't help much.
No.
But then you went through and eventually did it 2 hours and however minutes later. 13. It was just not a fun game. There was no music as I remember it. There was just this weird atmospheric wailing sound. It wasn't a pretty game either. It was a bit like Limbo, but not as cool. It was just shitty silhouette vector things. The character was just a little pretty amorphous.
Square.
Yeah, square. And then there was the creatures you were trying to save, and they were just bushes with eyes drawn on them. Yeah. But nothing great, nothing good to say about the game.
12 trophies, not hard to plat, but I mean,
mine says there's 11.
Mine says 12.
Oh no, because it doesn't list the platinum.
All 12 trophies.
Yeah.
Next game was a game called Claire.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'd have played it through without a guide, it would have been good.
Yeah, all right, okay, we're admitting it.
We're just like, fuck it. We'll get a guide up. We'll just And the guide was like,
it was step by step. It was like literally, don't breathe unless the guide tells you to
leave this room. Go to the room on the right, on the third door to your right, or something like that. And we do that. Pick up this. Leave the room. And it was fucking step by step.
Quickly go to the door on the far left, and I'm like, oh, dude, it says quickly.
Every time you say quickly, we shot ourselves.
Yeah, there's just this like weird Slenderman thing that chases you.
Because you can't fight back.
Yeah, it's one of those fucking... I hate horror games, especially the ones where it's like...
Oh, look at you,
just run. Just run. Here, play this game where you get to run away from things. And it's like, oh, gee, thanks. How exciting.
Yeah, like when you take away that someone's ability to fight back, they think, oh, it makes it 10 times more scarier, but... Look at Final Fantasy 7. Not Final Fantasy 7, why did I say that? Fucking Resident Evil 7. Sorry, I was talking about...
Yeah, that's a great game. Highly
yeah, and you can fight
regarded.
Back on that. You got a knife, you can get a gun. I'm talking about Final Fantasy 7 with Danny the other day, and it's been rattling around my brain ever since, because I just want to play it again, but with updated graphics. Anyway...
Play what again?
Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, Final Fantasy... Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about Resident Evil 7.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that remake. Remaster thing.
It's only got 16 trophies in Claire as well.
Yeah, I don't really... It was just for, like, find all the items and shit like that.
I mean...
Find all the notes.
It's probably a good game.
Save all the... I don't think it's a good game, because it's just another fucking indie horror game where you run away from things, and The story wasn't that exciting. It was another one of those stories where it's just all up to interpretation. You know, you get to the end of the game and you're like, oh, here it is, the climax. I'll find out what's all going on. And it's like, you decide. And I'm like, I don't want to decide.
I'm pretty sure it was obvious that she'd committed suicide or something, or tried to. And her family was around her and stuff. But anyway, I said it was probably a good story. I don't remember much of it because we were just step by step and we weren't paying attention. We were listening to music or something and we were talking amongst ourselves.
We were listening to War of the Worlds.
Yeah. Yes. The next game, though, I did quite enjoy. Bloody Goosebumps.
You enjoyed it?
I thought it was alright.
Oh, yeah, okay. It was kind of fun. Like, well, we'll get to it, but...
It was like a blast from the past when games were like that. Where you had to press left to go into a new area on the left.
Yeah, well, basically it was a point and click.
It was a point and click, yeah.
I wasn't expecting it. Mostly because when you said let's play Goosebumps, I misheard you as Ghostbusters and thought I'd be shooting ghosts for the rest of the night. But no, it turned out to be Goosebumps.
Yeah.
And I mean, I saw the old episode of Goosebumps as a kid, but I never read the books. I wasn't that into it.
Yeah.
But some characters showed up that I recognised, like the dummy, which is like the main enemy of the game.
The mask from the best ever Goosebumps.
Yeah, that was in there.
But it was really fun. It felt really nostalgic, but also it was really modern.
Yeah,
and I liked it. Was that? I can't remember if it was an annoying plot.
There were some annoying bits, especially for me. This is one of the times when you had more luck than I did. But do you remember that? Pardon me. Do you remember that bit where you have to go into the bathroom, open the cupboard under the sink, drop a random item, but it has to be invaluable, so you have to know which items you need and which items you don't. Drop that into the chute. Go through a portal to another portal in the house, which is in the laundry room. Come out in the laundry room, check the laundry basket to see if one of 5 items that you need has fallen into the laundry basket. If not, go back through the portal, go back into the guest room, and then from the guest room go in the bathroom, put something down the chute, leave the bathroom into the guest room, go through the portal into the laundry room, and just keep doing that over and over and over. And it was all RNG, and I fucking hate that when I'm trying to get a plot, when it's completely out of your control.
There was a part that I really... you have to get a photograph of the security guard in a mall who follows you around.
Oh yeah, you had some shit luck with that. I read that I had to do it, went back a room and it was there, and I was like, oh okay.
Yeah, there was a really cool mechanic where when you go to a different area in the mall, he has a chance of just appearing as a reflection. I never saw a reflection. The game said he could show up as a reflection or a shadow in a scene. Or he could just show up as a shadow in the distance, and it was really cool that.
Yeah, because I liked it as well.
It wasn't like it just loads them in as you switch scenes. Like you could be in that scene for ages, like looking at your phone. You look up and you just see him slowly fading as a shadow.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
There was some cool things in that game that you could do that had no bearing on anything else.
Yeah,
like there's one thing that we did, I think, for a trophy, or as part of our second run. Where we went to various stores in the mall. You know, we went to the candy store, got loads of different cotton candy floss as we call it. Went to the clothing store, got some dresses. Went to the shoe store, got some shoes and stuff, and then went to the massage parlor. I think it was. Oh no, it was.
Yeah, no, it was like a tanning massage.
No, it was plastic surgery, wasn't it? Because they had the thing that could remove the mask from your face. But yeah, and then you put down a mannequin which you have to steal from another store, and if you take the wrong mannequin, it attacks you, so you just have to guess.
Yeah.
And then you take the mannequin, put it into the fucking plastic surgery clinic, and then put the clothes and the shoes and the fucking candy floss hair.
Yeah, you basically made up this weird ass woman, and she came to life.
Yeah. And then it distracted the
security guard, so you could just walk around the mall. It was pretty cool. I liked it. It was nostalgic. What's your completion time for it?
Oh, my completion time.
Yeah.
Hang on, my phone locked.
Because you were stuck.
Mine is 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Mine's 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Whoa!
How did you? I finished.
No, because I got stuck on the laundry thing, but you got stuck on the security guard thing.
I suppose. That's crazy. That. What about Claire?
Claire, 4 hours and 1 minute. 4 hours? There is no way.
Mine was 3 hours and 53 minutes.
We spent that long?
Because right at the end, the game crashed and you couldn't get your plat. Do you remember?
I remember having to fight the boss again. Oh yeah, because it froze on the fucking final cutscene.
The very final. It was the last second of the cutscene as well, where all the friends started appearing.
Like literally, a couple of seconds after that, the trophy would have popped, and it froze, and I had to fight
and you had to fight the boss again, and you go through all that. Yeah, so that's
the boss fight was quite interesting, wasn't it? Like you had to hide in the closet from that Slenderman guy, but then activate these orbs, which would charge up over time and then discharge. And that would electrocute him. That was pretty cool. There was a pretty good cheese for it though, so like it wasn't that much of a challenge. I was just like wardrobe orb, and then
I guess it wanted cheese. It was just how it was meant to be. Like maybe the game wanted you to like carry on from door to door. Like I don't know, maybe it thought it was like it thought we've made the player run the entire game. Maybe they think they're gonna have to run now.
Yeah,
but yeah, we just used the first orb because why not? It was there. The next game was fun.
Oh, I really liked this one. It's a shame about what happened to you.
But big shame.
I completed this in 2 hours and 38 minutes.
2 days.
2 days.
14 hours.
It's worth noting that that's since you first played the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, like, for example, when you were playing My Name is Mayo, and I was waiting for my games to download, I was playing Coffin Dodgers.
Right.
And then I platted that the next day, so now it says it took me 22 hours, but actually it was only like 3 or 4 hours. So,
is that one of the games you've platted that?
Yeah, that's next on my list. So we'll talk about this Metropolis Lux Obscura,
which is a game I bought because I was looking at the new game section on the PlayStation Store, and I saw that and I was like, oh, comic book art. I wonder if it's any good.
Yeah, it's really nice art style. It's a really cool art style.
And it was really cheap, so I was like, yeah, let's get it. And I just never played it since, and I bought it months ago.
Oh, right, I thought you got it just for that.
No.
Plat sesh.
No, I've had it for a long time.
Oh, right.
But I remembered it was supposed to be like a 1 hour or something plat, if you're lucky. But I didn't expect it to be that good. There's like a story to it in that, and it plays out like a comic book, but then the meat of the game is these like match 3 puzzle things, and that's how you battle and stuff.
Yeah, so it's like turn-based combat.
Yeah.
The enemy can do what they want on their turn. It's not always your turn, their turn, your turn, their turn. Sometimes it's your turn 4 times and then it's their turn to attack, depending on how strong they are. I remember there was this Elvis impersonator character that was particularly difficult to beat. The few times I had to beat him. And at the end of one of the storylines, there was this like undercover, or not undercover, but like corrupt policeman.
Yeah, like 250.
And he was unbelievable to beat, and you had to beat a dog before you got through to him.
Yeah, and like there were no checkpoint in between, so you'd kill a dog, die at the police officer, you got to kill the dog again with a reload. Exactly. There was a guy as well, and there was a biker, a really big fucking tall fat guy, and didn't he have like 300 health or something?
Yeah, I only had to fight him once for one of my runs, but that didn't take me long. Yeah. Because I saw him and I was like, oh, this is going to suck. That's the one where I got the trophy where you had to do over so much damage in one move. Because I just got super lucky. All the police badges turned into rage badges because... Well, it's probably better if I explain this once we've explained how the game works. So it's also, as well as a turn-based fighter, it's a puzzle fighter. Which is, like Ash said, it's a match 3 sort of situation.
Match at least 3.
Yeah, so you've got Mace was one of them, I think. It was like this poison bottle green icon thing. You match 3 of those, you do a bit of damage. There was other attack ones like Stomp, which was a boot icon.
Yeah.
At some point you can get a gun, and that lets you use a gun as an attack. You've got your standard punch with a chain wrapped around your fist. The punch you could upgrade with various skills, which it would go...
It would upgrade. It would go from, was it a punch to a glass bottle to knuckles
to knife. Yeah, and the knife was really strong.
And did it upgrade more past that? I have no idea.
I don't know. I never got that far. Which is weird. Like, there's so many upgrades you can get and skills you can get, but you could never get them all in the same run, which is so disappointing because I just want to see what it's like to be this OP guy with everything. Because it is a disappointingly short game, actually, considering how fun it actually is. But yeah, so there's all these attacks that you can do, and then there's rage tiles, which is just an angry face. You match 3 of those. and your rage bar goes up a bit. Fill your rage bar once, your attacks are 1.25 times damage, and then 1.5, then 2.
Yeah, you can also
and
upgrade
2
that.
was the max, but you can upgrade it. But I got 2 times rage so rarely that I was like, why would I upgrade it?
I managed to upgrade it quite far, so you could get up to like maybe 10 levels of rage, but I never got past 2.
Yeah.
The fights weren't long enough, and there weren't enough rage tiles, even when you converted all the police tiles.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's police tiles as well. If you match those, that hurts you. And you can get this skill that turns them into rage tiles. Random. Very randomly.
Yeah, there's a slight chance that when you match 4 tiles or more...
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Any tile...
it's very rare.
It's very rare, and then you match 4 more of any tile, and every police badge will turn into a rage badge.
Yeah, the first time I read that, I was like, oh, if I match 4 police badges, it won't hurt me, it'll turn into rage instead, and then I died. So yeah, that biker guy that was fighting, I got lucky enough that all the police badges turned into rage badges, and that just started off this fucking cataclysmic chain reaction. I got all these rage badges, which gave me 2 times damage, and then all these attacks just kept raining down, all these attack tiles raining down and making matches left, right, and centre, and I fucking nailed the guy, like 200 damage in one turn. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that game. It was fun. I had some awful troubles with the trophies.
Yeah, there wasn't even a problem with the game, so don't get that idea. It was my PS4, I guess. My old one.
It could have been, although it did...
It has happened before, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was on my PS4 Pro. When we had the problem with Black and White Bushido.
I think it's just licenses.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with the fact that...
Shocking.
My internet is shocking.
And my account is spread across so many PlayStations.
Yeah, plus I was sort of playing from your copy, which could have been a problem. But then again, most of the games I've been playing lately have been games that you've bought and have pulled from your library. And I've never run into that, except when we're trying to play games together.
Yeah.
It's the only time it ever happens.
It was probably because we were both playing it and the license only belonged to me. So it was...
Yeah, or maybe because I was playing one of your games and you were on your account. But it doesn't happen to you when you're at home, so...
No, because we were both playing the same game, but your console's my primary.
Okay, yeah.
And so I think it couldn't verify my license, but obviously the game, it knows that your console's my primary, so it didn't give a shit about your license.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had a few troubles, so I had to go home the next day and finish it off. But then obviously I was busy, and I had to do it the day after instead.
Oh, man.
So yeah, your next game is different to mine?
Pardon me.
Gross.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, after you left the next day, my girlfriend is visiting home, which is in France, so she's not here at the moment, so I've got a lot of spare time to just sit around and play games. That's why I've just been platting games a lot lately. Coffin Dodgers was the next one I played, because you did it.
Yeah.
The last time we did this big like platinum hunting spree when I got Ratchet and Clank and shit like that. You did Coffin Dodgers at my house. I watched you do it. It didn't take long at all. It's like 4-hour plat or something. So I was like, fine, I'll do it. Pretty shit game. I only think it's shit because of there's other options out there like
Mario
CTR
Kart.
and Mario Kart and stuff like that. Visually, it's a really nice game. It needs something like if you look at a model on its own, like the little cars parked up on the side of the street, you're like, oh, it's a really nice style. It's a really cool model. It's textured really well. But then for some reason, putting all these models together in a world and having them on screen at the same time, they just all lose all charm they had.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even begin to explain why that is some sort of like fucking visual phenomenon, but
like overcrowding or something.
No, it's not the fact that there's too many models on the screen. It's just the fact that once they put it into that game engine or whatever, that model lost all charm. Because it's not until you like take time to really look at a model that you realise it's not that ugly at all. Yeah. But from a distance, it just looks ugly and under processed, I guess.
All right.
Just looks it looks like a really cheap indie game.
Yeah. My next game that I platted after our binge sesh was My Name is Mayo. Again, because I realised you can play it again for the Vita because they got separate lists.
Oh, and you can be sure shit I'm going to do that too.
Yeah, so not only did we plat the first Mayo game, I did it twice. Still not ashamed. Which is, we've already talked about it, same thing. I did it 20 minutes faster this time.
Nice.
Because I remembered the whole thing. And then your next plat you did just a few hours ago.
Yeah, so I got to 39 plats and I was like, okay, I want my 40th plat to be something, good. Because PSN Profiles logs this shit, on the side of my profile I got my 30th platinum was Detroit, my 20th was Hitman Go. That's not really a good one, is it? My 10th one was Horizon Zero Dawn. That's beautiful. I'm so glad that's there. My first ever platinum was Gravity Rush, and I thought, this is perfect. 40th platinum, Gravity Rush 2. I'm going to do it. And the last trophy that I need, the very last one, is called Rift Miner? Something like that. Oh, I can't remember what it is. But basically, you've got to... I've been playing this game throughout the whole game, every now and then you'll get a notification to say, the gravity mine or whatever has a disturbance, a phenomenon, and I would ignore it because I've been in the mine. It was just a place to mine crystals and I didn't care.
Yeah.
So I just ignored that, bunned that off, and now I've got to the end of the game and I'm like, I should have been going to those gravitational disturbances because there's 5 giant Nevi that I need to defeat.
Yep.
And they spawn completely at random. I've looked everywhere online. There's some people that say if you save the game, turn off, close the game, and then load the game up, the gravitational disturbances change and there's a chance it'll come back up. I've done that hundreds of times. Nothing ever happened. I left my game on for 12 hours while I was working at home, and not a single one appeared since the one that I beat, first thing in the morning. And I just couldn't get another one to appear. So it looks like I'm pretty much guaranteed one a day. So I went on today and there was the third one that I need. So now there's only 2 I need. And obviously the problem is the chances are that I'll go on tomorrow to get another one and it'll be one I've already got.
That sucks.
So it's just, like I said, I hate when it's like this, when it's RNG and there's nothing you can do. Yeah. It's just completely out of my control.
So when I borrow your copy, I need to do that ASAP. Yeah.
From about halfway through the game is when you should be able to be strong enough to beat those giant Nevi. And then just go in there and fuck them up. Another annoying couple of trophies I had to get. So I've completed the game fully, and I never fully upgraded Kat, the main character, because you just don't get that many crystals. Like in the first one, it was super easy. You just get, come first on all the mini games,
yep.
And you've got enough crystals easily and extra. So in this one, they decided not to do that. I've got gold on all the mini games. I've beat the story fully, and I had like 40,000 gems total that I'd used. To fully upgrade Kat, you need 87,000 crystals. So I had another 47,000 I needed to get. Also, that trophy's a silver, and there's a gold trophy for collecting gems for getting 60,000, which doesn't make sense because the one for fully upgrading Kat is pretty much the exact same, challenge, collect crystals.
Yeah.
But it's only a silver trophy for getting 87,000 and getting 60,000 as a gold trophy.
Weird.
So yeah, I got completely robbed of that plat because I can't fucking finish it without waiting. So you came over again and I was like, oh man, let's just, I'll plat something else while you're here. So I started Everybody's Gone to Rapture yesterday. Last night, and again I've just been following a guide because I know it's a walking simulator. It's one of those games where the story's up to interpretation and shit. Like after I finished it earlier, you were reading up about it so we could try and get a grasp on what actually happened, what we saw happen, and none of it made much sense at all. Like
when you were playing it, yeah.
But yeah, what was I going to say? There's a few annoying trophies in that one. Like once I'd done a full run, getting everything for the completionist trophy, I had to go through and do it again. Not the full game, but there's a trophy for finding all the radios without doing anything else. And so, you can interact with doors and gates, and you can listen to bits of story that happen as you walk past. But if you interact with anything like a collectible or something that furthers the story, it cancels out the trophy. You got to start again. I got very lucky in that it worked the first time, but it got hairy sometimes because there's these motion controlled events that you can trigger just by tilting the controller, and every time I went near one, I was just like dripping in sweat, like trying not to fucking tilt the controller the tiniest bit and accidentally activate it. But yeah, I don't know. I fully expected something to go wrong with that, because some of the trophies are just look at a map, look at a book, look at 30 different books. Don't interact with it. We won't log it so you know that you've looked at it efficiently for long enough or correctly. So the whole time I was just expecting to get to the last book and then be like, oh fuck, I didn't look at one properly. But I got really lucky. Well, maybe not even lucky. Maybe they just coded it well. But
yeah, because when you got the trophy for looking at all the books, you just walked in a room and whipped around.
Yeah, I whipped my head around the room and it popped. Yeah, that was crazy.
Because there was a book on the table and it just because you looked at it for like
it was on screen basically. That was all it took. So that's cool. Like, I'm glad it was that.
So my last trophy, not platinum, to report is something that you played ages ago. It's called The Swords of Ditto.
Yeah, we did an episode about... Well, not about this.
Yeah, you fucking hated it for ages.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you still hate it or if you just made peace with it.
No, well, since I've seen you play it today and seen the improvements they made to it, I just wish I'd played it now because I would have liked it more.
So
there was a lot of glitches when I played it.
Yeah, when you played it, there was a lot of glitches. I only had a few.
There
glitches.
are still glitches, by the way, because you were struggling with one, even though it's updated.
Yeah, so. But I finished it, and there was just one trophy I needed to get, and it was to collect all the toys. And it didn't pop. But like when you finish the game and there's no more story left, it's very hard to go back to it and keep on playing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just I'm not into those roguelite games.
Yeah.
Or if it just wasn't a good enough game to keep me interested.
They could have made it nicer, because I remember Rogue Legacy was a really fun game. Like, I would fully go and play that again.
It's funny you should mention that, because the developers recently just updated that game with some extra content.
Oh, nice.
As an anniversary present to everyone, cool. Basically. Like, well, this game is so many years old, you have some more content.
Yeah, but just like, that is a good example of a game where you don't mind doing it again and again and again.
Yeah.
But Swords of Ditto doesn't really have that in it, because like in Rogue Legacy, when you die, you're like, oh well, you know, it was worth it. When you die in Swords of Ditto, you're like, fuck! Yeah. Now I've got to do all that again. I've got to sit through this more fucking cutscene bullshit. It's ridiculous. The amount of shit, it's like a full 15 minutes before you start playing the game when you start a new life. It is awful.
The game, when you die or when you've successfully killed them all, you wakes up as a new character. You've got to go and get the sword of the Ditto. Sit through this exposition that you've already been told 10 times before about you're now the sword. You got to go kill Momo.
I don't understand that. Why would that would be a good idea to tell you the same shit again?
Then the game forces you to go to Momo's castle.
Oh, innit?
Do like a few little rooms that are really easy. Confront her. She teleports you out. You got to go and defeat 2 anchors. Do 2 toy dungeons, and then you're ready to fight her again. Go through a dungeon properly this time. Fucking 20 odd floors or whatever.
Yeah.
And they could die. You could die at any point because it's much harder. Then you go and fight her, and then you wake up. You do that all over again. And I didn't want to do all that because I'd finished the story. There was not left to do except from get that last trophy, which is collect all the toys. Now I needed 2 toys that I'd never seen throughout the entirety of the game, and I must have done it like maybe 15 times. You know, woke up as a new character.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the Conker and the bowling ball.
Yeah.
I managed to get the Conker like a week ago because I gave it just a quick 20-minute bash, or it must have been 2 weeks ago or something like that. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
I didn't touch it then. I was like, I've only got to get one more now. It'll just another 20-minute session. The next time whenever I can be asked, I'll just recharge my batteries at some point. I'll go back on it. It'll happen eventually. And so I decided to do it here. I got the bowling ball, held my breath, no trophy. I was like, and then you did some Googling for me, and you was like, dude, it's the super suit. The super suit's bugged.
Yeah, so the Henshin super suit doesn't register when you pick it up, unless you have the other 9 toys and then pick it up. So you had to get rid of it by giving it to an altar, and then go and find it again. Luckily, because it was the only one you needed, the chances of getting it were pretty high.
I can't remember how I got it. I was just...
Yeah, you went into a key dungeon.
I went into a key dungeon and I picked it up.
But where I read that said, at the top of the post, it said, as of update 1.05, this is bugged, blah, 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 the Henshin Super Suit. And then at the bottom of the post it said, as of update 1.06, this is still broken, but it's worse. And we were on update 1.12, it's still not fixed.
No, I had to, like you said, sacrifice it at an altar.
And then get it again.
I think when I sacrificed it at an altar, I went to do a key dungeon, and it gave me 3 chests at the end of the dungeon, and it wasn't in any of those chests. So I had to go and kill Momo again, and I think after that I did another key dungeon. And that's when I found it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But I finally got the plat. I was ecstatic, and I've not played the PlayStation since. The game drained me, man.
Yeah,
it drained me. I'm gonna attempt Crash Bandicoot now though.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna try and plat next. I've found a couple in my list. Like I got you to bring the order back because it's been a long enough amount of time that I can be asked doing it again. Also, Wolfenstein, I'm really close on. I didn't realise, so I'm gonna put that in at some point.
Have you platted Uncharted 4 yet? I think you need to do that.
No, because I found out I've got to do another run because there's a trophy for having so much shot accuracy. But I don't understand how I could not have that trophy because when I did the run on the hardest difficulty, I had, the automatic lock-on aim and I was using a single-shot weapon.
What I did for that was basically what you're describing. But even then, I was really picky about my shots. I would only shoot someone if I knew it was definitely going to get them.
Yeah.
And I don't think I hip-fired at all, really, if I could avoid it.
No, I never did either. Because all I had to do was face the camera towards them and lock on, and then it was like...
Yeah, I also did it in slow motion just to make sure my aim was definitely true. Only a slow motion aim, not the entire game in slow motion.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much exhausting our pool of
easy plats. Yeah, like it's going to start getting serious.
And so I'm gonna start platting bigger games now. Like I'm gonna plat Bloodborne at some point. I really want to play. Plat that.
Well, you've got a few days sort of in a similar situation to me, aren't you? And I think you're gonna finish Nier, aren't you? Oh no, you already did that.
I already did Nier.
It was something else, wasn't it?
That was my 50th plat.
It was something else, some other big game you said you were going to... What? You were like, I'm going to finally do it.
Persona, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that was it, Persona.
Yeah, I'm going to finally attempt that at some point. I don't know if it'll be the next few days that I've got off or what. But I'm going to do it at some point. I bought Witcher 3. I'm going to play that and play. It's like an 100-hour plat.
Oh, it is a 100-hour plat.
But yeah, we've I think we're just past 1 minute, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 10 minutes. So we should.
Oh yeah, we should definitely just cut this.
We should just cut this short.
Yep. So thank you for joining us.
We like to get platinum trophies and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's.
Can you?
That's our outro.
Can you just leave? I want some time alone with the listeners.
Okay.
Just close your ears. I'm not doing this. It's gay as fuck. So yeah, just check us out on Instagram.
Whoa!
Untitled-2 podcast.
What's wrong with being gay? Come on, man.
Oh, don't do this.
It's 2018.
Don't do this to me. I'm not prepared.
All right, just wrap this up.
Yeah, we're wrapping it up. Okay. So follow us on Instagram, Untitled-2 podcast. Follow us on Twitter @UT2cast. There's some really good shit on there. I mean,
probably.
I think so.
I also think, man.
You don't go on there. You don't care. You have no involvement in all the effort I put into this podcast.
I don't go on there, but I have faith in you. You're my bro, my boo.
Okay, now it's getting gay. Now it's getting gay.
My squeeze.
Now it's getting gay, and I think me and you need some alone time.
Yeah, I'm hungry.